Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. This is going to be a recap part 2. I did a short-ish recap, for me at least. Dropped it last night. Had to run out to a Halloween party, so I couldn't do the full in-depth recap. And now I've been sitting here reviewing the game, reviewing what everyone is saying. And I've come up with a different approach to this recap. It's not going to be a recap. It's going to be kind of like an off-day kind of review on generally what's been happening with the Knicks. We're going to look at the past 5 games and 5 things that have come out that seem to be troublesome. Most of them are troublesome. 5 keys that Knicks need to work on to get back on winning track. They're 2-3 right now. Last season they started off 3-2. The offense was clicking on all cylinders last year, but the defense was also struggling. So it was interesting how this year it kind of felt like the reverse, but last night was a breakdown in defensive intensity. I mean, Mike Brown talked about it. Jalen Brunson talked about it as well. So we're going to get into that. We're going to do a breakdown of the game, a bit of a breakdown of the game, and then we're going to jump into the 5 keys that Knicks need to be looking at right now. So let's get to it. First of all, if this is your first time here and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We're really close to 11,000, like really close. I think less than 20 people. So that would be wonderful. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Share the video. That would be great. And drop your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about anything Knicks and anything that grows out of this video itself. The Knicks lost 135 to 125. I believe that's the most points they've given up this season so far. And the offense was clicking. I mean, you put up 125 points, even on the road, you should be able to walk away with a victory. So it's really a shame that the Knicks couldn't do it last night, especially after pulling off a tremendous comeback. They were once down by 22 points, and they were able to cut that down to just 2 pretty late in the game. And that is also one of the alarming things that we're going to talk about with this game, with this team at the moment. They basically they were non-existent defensively in the first half. You could see it in the first quarter, but then they were kind of sticking around, but really that second quarter where it continued even more so. The Knicks were just getting burned left and right by Giddey, who made some tough shots, got to say. He made some tough shots. Dosunmu also as well, and Vucevic, who ended up cooking Cat, where last season was totally reverse. Then Cat's season high was against Vucevic last year, 46 points, and then he followed that up with a 44-point game as game 2, the second time they played him. So he averaged 40.7 points per game against the Bulls, and last night he could not muster up that kind of offensive mighty power. So that was really disappointing. But listen to this. This is from a Bondi article quoting Brunson, talking about basically what happened. He said, "We didn't have any game plan discipline. We didn't do what was asked of us," Brunson said. "Coach came up with a game plan, and it's on us to deliver. We can't switch the game plan if we don't do the game plan hard enough. I don't know what to say." That feels like a team that is a bit lost right now. And it's a shame because they had established, a pretty solid identity last season, and I think all the newness is rattled it too much. I find it kind of curious that these professionals these aren't players that this is like their second year, third year in the season in their NBA careers. They've had many seasons, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, that they would let themselves get so pushed off their center of who they are. I think that's indicative of the pressure that they fully know is on them. There is a lot of pressure on this team to win this season. A lot of people are picking them to go to the finals, myself included, and I still believe that that's going to happen. This is a matter of these players and this coach and the staff and everybody getting on the same page. And it seems like sometimes their attention deviates, and they did not provide the defensive intensity that was needed, especially in those first 24 minutes. Very distressing. Here, Bondi goes on to talk about still the Knicks clawed back to cut the deficit to just 2 in the fourth quarter, but their last 3.5 minutes were ugly, with the Knicks getting outscored to end the game 15-9. Karl-Anthony Towns missed 3 straight wide-open trays in that stretch. He had 22 points with 10 boards. 22 points. That's like half of what he has scored on this team before. Very tough to beat a team like the Bulls right now that are rolling and they're at home when you don't inflict your will upon the game and you let them inflict it upon you, and that's what happened towards the end. Dosunmu cooked Bridges at one point out on the wing there. He just drove right by him. That was really distressing to see. And Vooch, he just totally bodied up Cat, threw a nice little hook floater over him. 2 points right there. Giddey dicing up the Knicks defense, just getting right to the hole, like taking it all the way to the hole with powerful intent and delivering. So it's very distressful. It was also distressful to see Josh Hart's contribution last night in this game, which is to say it wasn't much, honestly, to be honest. In this game, he didn't even play the fourth quarter at all. That'll show you how far off he's fallen. Fourth quarters were his jam. He came out, he played 15 minutes, put up 1 shot attempt. It was a 3-point shot attempt. Didn't hit it, obviously. 1 assist, only 1 rebound. We're talking about a guy who had 14 rebounds in his first game of this season after sitting out. So something's really changed. Maybe the back is hurting again as well with the hand. We're going to talk about the hand in a minute. He was, in those 15 minutes, he was a -8. So the Knicks fell 18 points behind while Josh Hart was on the court, and that's why he didn't play in that fourth quarter, where the Knicks did actually make a pretty valiant comeback that just fell short. They've lost 3 in a row. The last season, they lost 3 in a row only 3 times. They never lost 4 in a row. The very first time they lost 3 in a row, actually, interestingly, a loss to the Bulls was a part of that. It was in the middle. It was in game 2. Here it's game 3. Now they're going to play the Bulls on Sunday. Home and home series. They can't lose this game. I'm putting this out there as an absolute must win. I want to see the resilience come through. That's what I want to see. Brunson spoke about that resilience, actually. It's resilience time. This is not, okay, everyone can say, oh, it's early in the season. It is early in the season, but it's going to be game 6. You're playing at home. Where's your pride? Where's your competitive spirit? I want to see that tomorrow. I'm sure that flight back from Chicago was a pretty brutal one, bitter. It's an off day today. They're not even practicing today. Mitch has been listed as questionable, which I kind of expected that. I did call for Cat being shut down for 11 days. If he didn't look like his regular self in that game on Friday against the Bulls, who he feasted against all last year. Well, we didn't see that. We saw moments, we saw moments inside the arc. He was, 5 of 11 inside the arc, but it was 1 of 5 from the 3-point line. Hit all 9 of his free throws last night. Picked up 10 rebounds. Nothing big for him. He's averaging 13.5 for the year. He was a +7 though while he was on the court. OG was a +6, and Mitch was an even 0. Of the starters, Mikal Bridges ended up being a -1, and he played the most. He played 38 minutes, and Brunson was a -6. He needed 25 shot attempts to give us 29 points. He was only 2 of 5 from the free throw line. The free throw line. That's like something that he's fantastic at. So right there, he left some points on the table there. But Josh Hart is one of my major concerns. And Bondi put out this article where he said basically the headline is Josh Hart not considering surgery as he adjusts to his new Knicks life. Quote, for me, there will probably be a process until I get full feeling back. What the fuck? You're saying you have like numbness in your hand, bro? This is first we're hearing about this? And that hand will be what it is and shooting. I'm working with Knicks' new shooting coach, Peter Patton, all the time. And that will come along. Since when, bro? It's not like you've been a great shooter the past couple of seasons. Jump shots. The first, when you first came to the Knicks after that midseason trade, you were fabulous from the three-point line. Shot over 40%. But since then, you've been a 33% shooter. And really, when you begin the season, it's even much starker than that. Last year, you began the season. Right now, I can't even tell you what you're shooting right now. It's truly shocking. But anyway, he says, I'm not getting surgery. The timeline of Hart's busted finger was unfortunate. He suffered the initial injury in May during the playoffs, then played through it, not particularly well, and underwent surgery in the offseason. A setback occurred during a practice not long before training camp officially opened. Yeah, his very first media day, you saw his busted finger. It was like super swollen, and it must have maybe just the day before or the day before that while he was ramping up his physicals, he re-injured it. Well, honestly, in my opinion, he should have gone back and he should have immediately got it operated on. He talks about ego here in this article where it's definitely a big mindset change for him to come off the bench after leading the league in minutes played last year. So he, an ego sometimes is difficult to rein in, but he's going to try and do that. But this sounds like ego as well to me. I mean, the numbers are startling for Jalen Brunson for Josh Hart. I always put them together because they're such buddies. For Josh Hart. Josh Hart is shooting 10% from the three-point line. He's shooting 21.1% in total. That's in the first 5 games of last year, he was shooting 55.3% from the three-point line. And from the field, 55.3% from the field. From the three-point line, he was shooting 28.6%, which is terrible, but that's still almost 19% better than he's shooting this year. So this is a whole other level of offensive struggles. And he's not attacking. He's not downhill either. He's going from side to side, very horizontal on his drives. And the minute they pass, the ball gets past him, he's immediately looking to pass it without, basically not even trying to confuse the defense. He's just trying to get rid of the ball. I am very concerned about what Josh Hart has given the Knicks and what he will continue to give the Knicks. And my hope that he will be able to play through it is at pretty much at as low as it can be, which is why I think he should get the operation. He should get the operation because what is he offering us? We need his hustle. He's not even rebounding. He's not even making plays for others. He's throwing the ball away. Terrible pass. He made a terrible pass. I believe it was in that third quarter, and then he was benched and never got back in the game. So if you're not going to provide the Josh Hart energy and the chaos that you create out on the court and be the amazing rebounder for your size, then what is it that you're offering other than using up minutes? So get your surgery. If it takes 3 months to heal, that's fine. You go down now. It's November 1st. That's December, January, February. We'll see you March 1st. No, November 1st, December 1st, January. We'll see you February 1st. We'll see you February 1st. You go get your surgery right now. We'll see you February 1st. Great. Let's do it. All right. Now, the keys. Knicks can't close quarters. And we have been seeing it all season pretty much. But last night against the Bulls was beautifully, it crystallizes this problem right now. In the first quarter, the score was Knicks 23, Bulls 24. It was a 1-point difference, and it was about a little less than 2 minutes left in the quarter. 1 minute and 57 seconds left. They allow the Bulls to go on an 11-4 run to close the quarter to be up 35-27. So there you go. You already saw how they were not able to slow the Bulls down. They allowed them to do what they wanted to do to close out that quarter. And then the Knicks went from being, just 1 point down. They were once up 14-6 in that quarter. And then they find themselves down 8. They were once up 8. They find themselves down 8. Then in the second quarter, where the score was, by then, I mean, they had completely let go of the reins in the second quarter. The defense had completely cratered at that point, and the Knicks were now down 16 points with about a minute left in the half. And they end up finishing 72-53, down 19 points in that. Oh, yeah, down 19 points. I made a mistake earlier. I said 12. They were down 19 points at the half. They allowed the Bulls to go on a 6-3 run, but really it was almost a 6-0 run to close that out because Mikal Bridges hit a miracle buzzer beater 34-footer. They bounced up and dropped right down, or else the Knicks would have been going into the half down 22 points. So that saved them. They were down 22 points at that moment. So that's a poor way to close the quarter. Luckily, Mikal did hit the shot. And Mikal has been playing well. I mean, Mikal is averaging 19 points a game on 56.5% shooting, 48.1% from the three-point line. That's fabulous for him. One of the things, let me pull this up here. Where did this go? Oh, well, I lost that. But he has been really providing the Knicks something that we've been waiting for from him. He's basically at a 50-40-90 clip. Might even 60-50-90 clip. Wouldn't that be wild? He's been playing fabulous for the Knicks. He's averaging 6.2 rebounds, almost 5 assists per game for Mikal Bridges, and less than one turnover per game for him. So he has been across the board probably the Knicks' best player in totality. However, last night he did get burned by Giddey and Ayu, and who else? Giddey and Ayu mostly. He got cooked last night. So he's not even the player who's giving us the best minutes. There's still major flaws in it so far. So that is true. So then in the third quarter, the Knicks, there's only 21 seconds left. The Knicks are down 98-91. And Dosunmu, this is the play I was talking about here. He totally cooks Bridges. He was out on the three-point line. The buzzer, the shot clock, the quarter clock is counting down. Bridges knows he's got him pretty much isolated out top, and he allows himself to be put on skates. And Dosunmu goes right around him for a layup with his right hand, lets him go right, which is one of the game plans that Brown put out there. Don't let Ayu go right. And yet they let him do it continually all night long. So there's another one. So then instead of finishing down just 7, now they're down 9. And then in the fourth quarter, the Knicks make this valiant comeback from once being down 22 to cutting it down to just 2 points, 115-113, with about 5.5 minutes left in the game. So this is the moment. This is the moment where the championship heart of a team comes out and are like, you know what? This is a whole new game right now. Let's put the clamps on these guys and we'll figure out the scoring. But defense first mentality has to happen. Get stops. Continue to get stops. Continue stifling. You were getting stops. That's how you were able to chop down that lead to begin with. So maintain that momentum. Well, the opposite happened. As Bondi wrote it, 15-4, but actually it was a 15-9 run. It was actually a 20-12 run by the Bulls to close the game out 135-125. So it was once a 2-point game, ends up being a 10-point loss for the Knicks in those final 5+ minutes. Man. Knicks can't close quarters. That's a big problem. They got to fix that. Key number 2. Struggles with young, fast, athletic teams continues. We saw it last year. We saw it the year before that. It's just something about this team. We don't have those guys. Obi Toppin was that kind of guy. We traded him away for peanuts. We don't have those kind of players. McCall is very fast, though. That's one thing. He is really fast. And OG he's athletic as well. But that's it, pretty much. Cat is kind of lumbering. Brunson is small. Mitch is still coming back. I mean, it's his first game back. He played 3 minutes and they took him out immediately. And then he ended up playing, I forgot how many minutes total. But, he did not have a good game for him. He's going to take a while for him to get into conditioning. And then he may not even play tomorrow. So he may not play tomorrow. It's going to force Cat to play, but there's a game on Monday, so it's a back-to-back. So I'm assuming Cat won't play Monday and Mitch will play Monday, which is fine. And then you start shutting him down. Then shut Cat down from Monday until November 11th, and then we'll look at that, and he will have missed at least maybe just 4 games by that point because there's a nice gap. I think extra days off next week because of the back-to-backs. But yeah, they struggle with young athletes. That's what the Bulls are right now. And they're playing the style of play that Mike Brown wants the Knicks to play. Which brings the question, maybe the Knicks just aren't that team. They just don't have the horses to get out there. The players to get out there and run and gun like these guys do. I'm not saying that's true yet. I'm saying maybe. It's still a TBD. We shall see. But I will say the depth was one of the things that was supposed to help this year. Where last year, Thibs was barely playing 6.5 players for long stretches of time, and the guys were just cooked. And young athletic teams would just, run them out of the gym. Well, this year, we're supposed to have the depth. And, Brown has gone pretty deep several times. 11 deep, 10 deep, several times. But the depth has let the Knicks down. Has let the Knicks down tremendously, especially the bench. That is the depth. So that is something that they're going to have to look at. Mo Diawara, maybe he gets some burn. He's young. He's fast. He's got hops. Hockporty, he can run up and down that court as well. Maybe look at other ways to incorporate Hockporty. This might have been a game to see some Hockporty. I know it's tough because Mitch gets the minutes and he's rusty and he needs to work through it. But, don't forget about all the guys you have. Don't forget about all the guys you have, which is totally ironic that I'm saying that. Key number 3, Knicks just can't shoot right now. Despite getting good looks, they are getting good looks. In fact, our guy... Here we go. Let me see. Was it this? Yeah. Christian Winfield put a whole article out, and this was in the game day pregame show that I did yesterday. We're getting really good looks, and I think they're going to fall. I know they're going to fall. That's what Deuce said. The Knicks are the NBA's 3rd most trigger-happy 3-point team, averaging 44.8 attempts per game, trailing only last year's league-leading Boston Celtics and Phoenix Suns. New York leads the league in catch-and-shoot threes attempted, 34.5%, but ranked bottom 10 in efficiency on those shots. And they're generating the 4th most open threes, 18.3 per game, defined by the league as attempts with a defender 4 to 6 feet away. So they're getting good looks, but they're not dropping. Right now, the Knicks have the 3rd worst field goal percentage in the NBA, 42.4% as a team. They are 18th in 3-point percentage, 34.4%. They are 3rd, though, as he pointed out, in 3-point attempts, 44.8. I think the shooting is going to come eventually. When you look at, dudes like Cat shooting 36.8% compared to and 30% from the 3-point line compared to the first 5 games last year, he was shooting 55% overall. and shooting 64% from the three-point line in the first 5 games last year. So his shot is off. Again, could be the injury, could be the quadricep, could be something else too happening, but he's definitely not right. His efficiency is just horrific right now, but I don't think that's going to continue. That is one thing for sure. I am 100% sure that his shot will return, definitely. But Josh Hart, it's a whole different story. 21% for him from the field, 10% overall. That is something. He was averaging 14.2 points per game last year. Now, granted, that's on 35 plus minutes, but this year he's at 2.8 points on 22 minutes per game. That's a big drastic drop off. And then when you look at the starters though are putting up 91.2 points per game, which is third most in the NBA. So it's the bench that's really not doing their job right now. They are second worst at 22.2 points per game, the bench. The bench is a minus 3.8, while the starters are a plus 1.8. The field goal percentage for the starters is at 46%, which is like 22nd in the league. And from the three-point line, the starters are 36.8%. A lot of that is Mikal Bridges and OG, 39% for OG. So that's 13th best, 36.8%. But the bench field goal percentage, worst in the NBA, 31.9%. And the three-point shot, shockingly, that's not the worst. That means inside the arc, they're atrocious. They're at 29.2% from the three-point line, which is 24th. So the bench has really the shooting woes. The starters are not shooting the lights out by no stretch of the imagination, but they're not the problem right now. Now, missing Deuce for 2 of those 5 games definitely hurt. And he was on a roll. Well, he wasn't totally on a roll. The second game he had, he wasn't that efficient, but he hit key buckets, key threes, and he hit one last night too during that run again. Whereby Shamet had 4 really good looks, that could have really helped this team tremendously if he hits at least 2 of those. Bricked them. He finally hit one, so he finished 1 of 5 from the three-point line last night. So the bench shooting has been a major problem, and a dynamic defensively as well. So that is concern number 3. But that is a concern or a key that I think will work itself out eventually, because good looks, they're gonna start having good makes, and you saw it during the run when they made that run. All right, number 4, and this one might be the most concerning one. Especially when you think about how they deviated away from the game plan last night. The defense allows opponents to get too comfortable. They give them easy looks. Vucevic was taking threes with like most of his threes had no one even near his face at all. Dosunmu, he took a 3-point shot right in front of Brunson's face, where Brunson was just back-footing it instead of closing out on him. Buried it right there. Drives to the basket, letting guys go to their strong hand as opposed to pushing them into the weak hand. The defense is got major, and that was one of the strong suits for this team in the beginning, in the first 3 games, basically the first 4 games. So now, last night we saw them, they gave up 135 points. That is very concerning. I have a feeling that this is something that they will be talking about, and already have been talking about in earnest since last night's game. Knicks defensively, they are allowing their opponents to shoot 48.7%, which is 24th in the league. In terms of, the lower you are, the worst. Field goal percentage, 58.1%. That's 3rd worst in the NBA. From the 2-point line, 56.9%, which is tied for 23rd. But from the 3-point line, they're allowing their opponent to shoot almost 40%. That can't happen. You're not going to win in the NBA if you're allowing that. They're shooting 39.6%, which is 4th worst in the NBA. So that you got to sound alarms right now. That's got to change. Has to change. But there is something that the Knicks are doing that is truly something special, and I hope they continue to do it. They're the best at limiting offensive rebounds right now in the game. They are number one in fewest offensive rebounds allowed at 6.2. And they are 20th in allowing defensive rebounds, 33.4. But in total rebounds, they're allowing 39.6 total rebounds, which is 5th best in the NBA. But the offensive glass is where they're limiting second chance opportunities for their opponents, and that is something that's a great thing. So I wanted to end on a positive note. I think that all of the things that we've been going over here are pretty much correctable, and they can improve upon them. Dealing with young athletic teams, they're going to have to take a different approach on that. That one might be something they're just going to have to, basically they're just going to have to outshoot the other opponent. That's what's going to have to happen at that point. But it's still too early. A lot of it is, gelling and chemistry. These guys, but they have been, the training camp started, 6 weeks ago? So it's been a while. And they had that nice trip to Abu Dhabi. So, at some point, you want to start seeing on-court results. And they got to begin with the follow-up game against the Chicago Bulls. Let's do it. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please hit the thumbs up button for me. Drop your comments. I want to hear your thoughts and feelings about anything Knicks. Support the channel. Join. There's a join button down below. That'd be great. Become a member. And check out the merch. Check out the merch store. The link is also down below in the description. All right. Let's see. Can the Knicks get back to 500? Let's do it. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go. Get it.